Do you often struggle to come up with ideas for what to talk or write about? Do you ever ask yourself, what does my ideal customer want to learn from me? Well, you're not alone. Business owners, writers, and marketers across the globe all struggle with this. Creating relevant and interesting content for your customers is tough, but getting it right starts with knowing your customer. Understanding them will help you create and communicate powerful messages that speak directly to their emotions. Messages that grab their attention, suck them into your world, and make them your raving fans. Welcome to the Copybean Podcast, the copywriting podcast for business owners, entrepreneurs, copywriters, and anyone interested in improving their writing skills to maximize revenues and sell more. I'm your host, Bob Taylor, conversion copywriter and copywriting coach. Today we'll be looking at the Waffle technique for understanding your customer and creating content relevant to them so that your outreach is 1000% more effective. Let's get started. Thanks for joining me today on what's going to be an eye-opening episode. We're about to deep dive into an incredible technique that will help you create unlimited ideas for marketing content in minutes. It'll help you understand your customer better so that content creation comes so easy you'll feel like you're cheating the system. So let's dig in. Do you know your customer? Lots of business owners think they know their customers, but they've never really dipped into their emotions. Sure, you know how your product can help Brenda do X, Y, or Z, but without touching on Brenda's emotion points in your communication, she's never really going to make a connection. She'll have little to no desire for your product or service. She won't see how your product is different to anything else that's available to her, and she won't have her credit card out ready to punch in her numbers and give you her money. So it's all about the emotional connection. But how do you access her emotions? How do you create content that will automatically pull her emotional strings and bring her closer to buying? You get to know her on an emotional level. Now, I'm using Brenda as an example here, but for the purposes of this episode, she represents your ideal customers. Not one customer, but the majority of the customers that buy from you and the prospects that see your offers. Okay, so I've teased enough. Let's reveal this technique. Of course, it's an acronym. And of course, because it's me, it spells out a delicious food, waffles. Waffle stands for wants, aspirations, fears, frustrations, love, and expectations. And here's how to use it. Every day that you create content for your business, choose one of the words and think about it from your customer's perspective. So it starts with wants. What is your customer's biggest want? What do they desire most? If, for example, you were selling financial coaching to business owners, their strongest want is likely to be financial freedom, more profits, and probably an easier way to build multiple revenue streams. And just like that, we've actually created 3 ideas for content creation built around your customer's wants. Now that's how all of the sections in Waffle work. And we can go through the whole Waffle doing the same thing. So let's do it. Aspirations. What are your customers' goals? Think specifically. This might seem similar to the wants section we just talked about, but it is different. When we think about aspirations, we're focusing more on the long-term goals than the short-term wins. So instead of just wanting more money in their account, we look at what they want that money for. Is it more family time? Is it savings or vacations or buying a boat? When you look at your customer's aspirations, you're looking into their future. And by knowing what your customer wants down the line, you can build content around helping them achieve this ideal future for themselves. In other words, you're able to paint a vivid picture of what their life will look like after using your product or service. Fears. What scares your ideal customer? Think about why they're even considering your product or service. What are they scared will or won't happen if they don't use your product? When you know a worst case scenario in your customer's mind, you can relate to them. You can show you understand this powerful emotion, fear, and you can position your offer as something that will help them to avoid that fear. Now let's move on to the second F, frustrations. What bugs your ideal customer? What are they always complaining about? And what prevents them from achieving their goals and their aspirations? These frustrations are powerful action drivers. Tune into their daily frustrations, understand why they annoy them, and then talk about how your product or service will help them avoid those frustrations. Or even better, how it blows the frustrations completely out of their life. Now, when you combine a frustration with a goal or an aspiration, you actually create an even more powerful content idea. Think about that for a moment. Now let's move on to the L of Waffle, loves. What does your ideal customer love? Now be careful here, this isn't the same as what they want or aspire to. What they love is what's important to them. For most, this is family or a partner, prized possessions. It can also be experiences like taking a vacation or eating delicious food or adventures in the outdoors. But what you want to do is find what your ideal customers love and include these loves in your storytelling. When you create content mentioning some of these loves, your ideal customer is going to be so much more interested in either listening, watching, or reading it. And now we've come to the last letter in the Waffle acronym, expectations. Now this is a really important one. It's the one that's most likely to clinch the deal in engaging or converting your prospects. You have to think about your ideal client's expectations from two different perspectives. One, what results do they expect? And two, how do they expect they could fail? One of these is positive. What results do they expect from using your product? One of them's negative. How could they fail even if they use your product? But you must understand how your customers could think they might fail. Those are the objections to buying. And if you can address them in your marketing and content, you're more likely to sway a prospect into buying from you. So that's the end of the acronym. And it's a lot to take in, but trust me, it works. Whether you're making social media posts, creating an ad, or writing an email, focusing on your customers' wants, aspirations, fears, frustrations, loves, and expectations will help you sell your idea, product, or service better. And that's how to use Waffle more effectively. Thank you for joining me today to learn about how to create unlimited content ideas using Waffle. Don't forget to take action on what you've learned by putting it into practice. And here's how to do that. Next time you sit down to write anything for your marketing or for your content, think of the Waffle acronym. Pick just one of the emotions, or more than one of the emotions, and then use what you discover to write to your ideal customer. Just those 3 steps will take your writing to the next level. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit subscribe and leave a review wherever you're listening. If you'd like to learn more about how I can help you improve your marketing efforts and boost your conversions, feel free to visit copybean.co.uk and see how you can hire me to help you write content that increases sales, conversions, and engagement. If you prefer to learn the skills for yourself, you can visit copybean.academy, and there you'll find courses, live workshops, and products that you can use to expand your knowledge and improve your copywriting skills. That's all for today. I'll speak to you again soon.